Welcome to this week's edition of CU Sports Mag. I'm Matt Hanlon alongside Dave LaRose. Dave, we got tennis. We got numerous things on tap for you. What else we got?
We got Andy McDonald caught up with new strength and conditioning director Malcolm Blacken. But first, we got some women's basketball highlights. Let's roll those. The women's basketball team coming off the tough loss to Iowa State, looking to knock off another ranked opponent at home. They got started early, number 15 team in the country. Robinson drives in for the left-handed layup. CU would answer right back with a three-pointer from Megan Malcolm Peck as the Buffs tried to keep up with the Sooners early. Midway through the first half, Sooners up 3. Jasmine Hartman gets the ISO play, spins, drives left, and gets a foul. She would hit the free throw to put the Sooners up by 6. Britney Spears, standing stage left, knocks down the tray ball with a little help from the fans. That's a Colorado 1, 2, 3. Buffs up 6 at the half. Kids watching at home, here's a clinic on great ball movement as the ball swings around the key, eventually ending up in the hands of Malcolm Peck, who drains the baseline jumper.
OU Morgan Hook puts up a deep baseline three, but clanks it hard off the front iron. Spears outlets to Chucky Jeffrey, who decides to set the play, swinging the ball around the horn to find Chelsea Dale, who puts the baseline deuce, pushing the Buffs' lead to 4 early. Sooner Danielle Robinson back in the action, using some quick moves and an ISO screen right here to get the wide open look, keeping the Sooners in it. It was a back and forth game all day. Jeffrey distributing the rock to Dale, who dishes it to Britney Spears, who knows when it's Captain Crunch time and buries a tray ball, 59-64 CU. Robinson with the clock running down, pushes the offense down the court and finds Carly Roethlisberger, NFL QB Big Ben's sister, who drops a 3, 64-68. Robinson in on the action again. Feeds down low to Jasmine, who gives it back to her, and Robinson streaks to the lane for the easy layup. And they're going to take a timeout. Chucky Jeffrey, with ice in her veins, knocks down a pair of free throws. And that was her last ditch by Oklahoma, but too little too late. And she puts up the jump shot right here, and that's all she wrote. Upset City, OU 68, Colorado 73.
Britney Spears had 24 points, and a few other Buffs chipped in with double digits.
Yeah, Danielle Robinson, 21 points, and Hook with 10 points. You see right there that you're not going to win a game if you can only get some distribution by Danielle Robinson.
Right. The men's basketball team held off a furious second-half rally to beat the Texas Tech Red Raiders this past Wednesday in Lubbock. After leading by 12 at the half, the Raiders went on a 21-5 run to take a 4-point lead midway through the second. CU fought back and took the lead for good after a short jumper by Levi Knutson with a little under 5 minutes left. Knutson led all scorers with 18 points, while Marcus Relford chipped in with 15. The Buffs escaped with a third road win of the season, and they hope to carry this momentum into their weekend showdown with number 5 Texas.
The men's basketball team rolled into Lawrence for the final time last Saturday, hoping to break a 28-game losing streak at Allen Fieldhouse. The number 1 Jayhawks, fresh off a loss to Kansas State, came out hot, hitting 8 of 12 from downtown in the first half. KU's Brady Mornstar letting all scorers with 16 at the break after hitting all 4 of his attempts from the three-point land. Colorado did their best to cut in Kansas' 17-point halftime lead, but couldn't get any closer than a dozen. Yeah, the Buffs shot just 13% from downtown and were out-rebounded by 12 en route to an 89-63 loss.
The transfer process for any student-athlete can be a difficult task. SportsMag's own Andrew Tomasini caught up with senior transfer Carlin Brown of the men's basketball team to discuss his transition this season.
I just didn't like the direction the program was headed, and just wasn't the best fit for me and what I could do as far as providing talents to the basketball players. So, kind of in the words of LeBron, I decided to take my talents here.
This is redshirt senior Carlin Brown. He's waiting for his shot. Unfortunately for Carlin, his shot won't come until next season because of NCAA transfer rules. But this wasn't a surprise to the former Utah Ute.
It's tough to watch, but at the same time, it's a learning experience and it's a humbling experience for me, after what I've been through at Utah. So, I know what I got myself into making a sacrifice. So, I'm just trying to be the best teammate I can be.
Like all college athletes, Carlin had to comply with NCAA regulations. Here at CU, compliance and monitoring coordinator Joanna Marshy knows all too well about the student-athlete's transfer process.
There is a lot of paperwork that is involved when a student transfers from one institution to another, but it mostly falls on the compliance and eligibility people. So
off the bat, rather than having to go with a freshman and go through the growing pains there.
Upon first sight, it's easy to see next season couldn't come any sooner for this new Buff.
Next year when it comes, it'll be a smooth transition.
For CU Sports Mag, Andrew Thomasine.
Thank you, Andrew. Coming up after the break, we'll see how the tennis team did against New Mexico last week.
And Andy McDonald gets to know strength and conditioning director Malcolm Blacken.
Knutson isn't just having an impressive season on the court, but off the court as well. The Littleton, Colorado native was named to the Capital One Academic All-American second team on Tuesday. Knutson is the fourth CU men's basketball student athlete to receive the prestigious academic honor. In the classroom, Knutson is a business administration major and carries a 3.92 GPA average. Knutson is having his best season to date with career highs in points, field goals, and field goal percentage. Knutson may be leading the way in the classroom, but his 18 points against Texas also led the Buffs on the court. For his performance against the Red Raiders, Levi Knutson is CU Sports Mag's Athlete of the Week.
It was a huge win for us. Obviously, a lot of teams in the thick of it in the Big 12 right now, and we're just trying to hang in there and finish strong so that we'll put ourselves in a good position for postseason play. We've got a senior-laden group here, and I think we know what it takes to win on the road now. And it's just a matter of consistency. Playing ball for 40 minutes and from game to game, just defend and rebound. Obviously, Texas is one of the best defensive teams in the country, so we're going to have to execute offensively as well. But I think if we defend for 40 minutes and rebound the basketball like we do pretty well here at home, we'll give ourselves a chance. Pretty much everybody's spending the same amount of time on the court, but it's kind of how you spend your time off the court. And I know basketball's not going to last forever for me, so I wish it could because I love basketball, but try to focus on my academics so I can have a successful career after basketball. Levi Knutson, CU Sports Mag, Athlete of the Week.
John Embry isn't the only new face around the Colorado football program. Andy McDonald caught up with new strength and conditioning director Malcolm Blacken to discuss his NFL pedigree and how he plans to put his mark on Colorado athletes.
There's one room in the Dow Ward Athletic Center that provides the foundation for CU football, but it's not in the basement. New strength and conditioning coach Malcolm Blacken has brought a new mentality to the weight room.
I train my football players like they're NFL football players. If I train them that way, because of my experience in that league, they'll be ready for any conference that we'll ever face. And that's how I get through, and that's how I will do, and that's how I will train the football players here.
And he knows a thing or two about the pros. He coached at the highest level for 15 seasons.
My job is to motivate, and I do that within the weight room. I do it through teaching. I do it through results.
He's out here to be to help us actually and just encourage us, and it's not really he'll have his moments when he gets mad at you and gets in your face, but for the most part he's just here to help you and to make you a better football player.
Blacken really isn't a yeller. He just wants to educate the players about their body and fitness.
First thing we do is routine. We get on a routine. The body loves a routine. I try to teach these guys to go to bed at the same time every night, get up at the same time, nutrient time, and eat at the same time every day. Your body's a machine. Get it on a schedule. It doesn't like it when you're sporadic. It doesn't like when you sporadically go to sleep, get up at different hours. It doesn't like when you sporadically feed it. That's not what we're all about.
And it may be too early to tell, but his impact on the program and players is definitely being felt.
Basically with Malcolm, it's more like working to get depth now and working to do things the right way.
It's a beautiful thing when it all comes together. And I've been here 7 weeks, and I've already seen a change.
Malcolm Blacken and the CU football team looks to continue their success in the weight room as well as out on the field as they move to the Pac-12 next year. For CU Sports Mag, I'm Andy McDonald.
University of Colorado Regents voted this Wednesday to approve contracts for new head football coach John Embry and offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy. The contracts will run from March 1st through January 11th of 2016. Both will have base salaries of $250,000 per year, but both contracts are heavy with incentives for achievements on and off the field. Among the potential bonuses in the coaches' contracts are the football team's academic progress towards graduation, the welfare of the players, and the development of the football program's reputation on campus.
The tennis team handled the New Mexico Lobos in Boulder last weekend. Senior Abby Probert lost her opening set but rallied to win the next two. Michaela Jensen and Christina Schleck made quick work of their opponents to take a commanding 4-0 lead. New Mexico tried to come back, but to no avail as the bus finished off the Lobos 5-2. CU is now 3-3 on the young season and goes on the road next where they will take on Arkansas.
CU's women's basketball was swept up by the Iowa State Cyclones last Saturday in Ames. Colorado did themselves no favors by shooting just 27% against the nation's 20th ranked team. The Buffs only hit 2 free throws in the first 10 minutes of the second half, part of a 40-17 ISU run. Britney Spears led CU with 13 points, but Colorado dropped its 9 straight road games 71-45.
Andre Roberson's emergence as a standout rebounder has opened many eyes around Boulder. He is just the second CU freshman all-time to collect 200 rebounds in his first season. This week's trivia question is, who is the other CU freshman to pull down 200 rebounds?
We'll have that answer later for you in the show. But up next on Sports Mag, Stacey Sams and Jacob Elyashar break down the men's basketball team.
And it was senior night for the club hockey team against Northern Colorado last Saturday.
Here's my nephew Scrum.
To kick it over to the double team set.
Yeah, where Stacey Sams and Jacob Elyashar cover everything CU men's basketball. So take it away.
Hi, I'm Stacey Sams and this is Jacob Elyashar, and welcome to this week's double team. So Jacob, we've had a pretty mixed bag with sports this week, haven't we?
That's right, we did have a mixed bag. We won one at Texas Tech and we lost one at KU. So let's head back to my home state of Kansas. It was Allen Fieldhouse that caused us to lose. It's one of the most intimidating places in all of college sports. Believe me, when the crowds go wild, they go at it, and the players can trash talk as well. That's why we've been having so much of a problem. And ever since the Big 12 conference started, we lost every single game at Allen Fieldhouse. Stacey, I can't remember the last time that we won at Allen Fieldhouse.
Well, actually, it has been quite some time, Jacob. We have lost 28 games to KU recently, but February 10th of 1983 is actually the last time that we won against the KU Jayhawks at Allen Fieldhouse. So it has been a while, and this was actually something that we mentioned during last week's.
To kick it over to the double team set.
With KU is that they actually ended up scoring 8 3-pointers by halftime, and by that point there was no way that CU could catch up to them at all. But tell me how that we should improve in our game so that we can beat KU in the future.
Because I think we're going to be playing KU at the tournament. So they need to stop listening to the fans and start listening to their the teammates themselves. They need to pick up their good chemistry, and they need to keep an eye on the basketball. But however, I personally think we need to stop leaving my home state of Kansas and head down to Texas Tech, because I believe we actually won a game.
Yeah, actually, we did win against Texas Tech. Colorado actually triumphed 71-68 pointers against them. And Levi Knudsen actually helped out by scoring 18 points with a 17-11 overall record. So tell me, Jacob, what do we need to do with our team to improve so that we can continue to do even better throughout the rest of the season until the end?
We need to, first of all, focus on our last couple games. I know our arch rivals are going to be coming out in force, and they are the Texas Longhorns and Nebraska Cornhuskers. They are going to bring their fan bases with them, and they are going to raise some cane. But however, in order for them to prevent them from stopping them from raising the cane, but the Buffs need to keep an eye on the basketball and also make sure they do not foul out, because a couple of times this season they had players leave the game because of fouls. And in addition to that, they also need to listen to their beacon of hope, who has been Tad Boyle. Tad Boyle, throughout this entire season, has been a beacon of hope to all of us fans, and especially to the players and to the administration. So right now, Stacey, if you had the opportunity to go to the Buffs personally and tell them what they need to improve upon, what would you say to them?
Well, what I would say to the Buffs is that if we're going to win, they need to step up their game. I would say that every time that the Buffs are going to end up practicing, they need to practice and play as if they are on the opposing team's field. And I think that would really help boost their confidence. And they also need to just not pay attention to the hecklers and the opposing team, and they just need to do whatever they can to reach their goal.
Amen. Especially going on, we have the court especially with Texas sold out. They're going to bring the pressure, and they're going to bring it badly. And especially that's going to be crazy, Stacey. I can't wait to see them play. What about you?
Well, I can't either, but unfortunately that's all we have for this week's double team. On behalf of Jacob Elyashar, and I'm Stacey Sams, and now we'll take it back to the desk.
Jacob and Stacy just talked about the CU men's basketball team. They previewed the Texas game this weekend, but there are two players that NBA scouts are just drooling over. Andrew, give us a little insight.
Well, all the information is right here for you, but it's Alec Burks and Jordan Hamilton. And we're going to talk a little bit more about Jordan Hamilton here because we haven't seen him at all. We played Texas last year. He only scored 10 points in that game, but he was a freshman. He's a sophomore guard forward. He's about 6'7". He gets about 19 points per game, 3 rebounds as well. He's from Los Angeles, California, but the best thing that Jordan Hamilton does is that he works inside and out. That's something that Alec Burks still needs to develop within his game, but all the scouts are loving both Burks and Hamilton thus far.
Right, we know about Burks. We see him every week, and we see how good he is, and we see what he needs to improve on. But what do they both need to improve on before they can take that next step into the NBA?
Well, specifically in terms of Jordan Hamilton, all the scouts are talking about how he's quick off the dribble, but when his shot isn't working, he's able to go inside and work down low on the post. He shoots over 40% from 3, so he does a great job there. Fred Hoiberg of Iowa State actually said that he's already NBA ready, and that's why he's getting so many looks. But when we're talking about our guy, Alec Burks, the major thing that everyone keeps harping on him about is his outside shooting. You know how well he works off the dribble. You know how well he can slash through the lane. He's just got to get his shooting game a little better.
All right, well, thanks, Andrew.
Senior night for CU men's club hockey team on Saturday versus the Bears of Northern Colorado. The senior class went out on a high note, polishing off UNC 10-2. With it being their final home game of the season, 6 seniors put the puck in the net. Senior Andrew Gillis scored 2 goals for the Buffaloes, and Matt Ulrich added to the points with 1 goal and 1 assist. Senior netminder Kevin Latinsky was a brick wall in net, saving 27 of 28 shots. The Buffaloes head to the ACHA West Regional Tournament this weekend, where they'll face off against the Northern Arizona Ice Jacks.
To remind you of this week's trivia question, we asked, who was the last CU basketball player to collect 200 rebounds as a freshman? The answer, Stefan Pell, who pulled in 218 boards in the 1999-2000 season and holds Colorado career rebounding record with 1,054.
Fantastic. Well, stick around for more Sports Mag. Shannon Lee hit the campus to see if students could recreate some famous calls.
And Annie McDonald hit the Frozen Foot 5K to watch.
We're going to go ahead and take a look at the weather for some of our ski resorts this weekend. Let's look at Vail. As you can see, their highs are in the upper 30s, lows dropping down to 16 degrees on Sunday. Vail's expecting 1 to 2 inches of snow this weekend, so if you're looking for a place to ski or snowboard, maybe check it out. It should be great. Let's move over to Breckenridge. Breck's going to be seeing highs a little bit lower at the lower 20s, dropping all the way down to 7 degrees Sunday evening. Breck's going to be one of the coldest resorts this weekend, so if you're planning on heading there, maybe switch it up and go somewhere else. They're looking at a wind chill of negative 11 degrees and gusts at 39 miles per hour. So let's look at another resort. Let's check out Keystone. Keystone's going to be getting highs in the upper 30s, lows dropping all the way to 8 degrees again Sunday evening. Keystone's always a bit breezy, so if you're planning on going there, maybe add an extra layer just in case. I hope you guys enjoy the snow this weekend. As always, be safe, bundle up, and have a great weekend.
For every great sporting moment, there's an equally great call behind it. Sports Mag's own Shannon Lee went on campus to let CU students try their hand at some of the greatest calls of all time.
Thanks, guys. I'm Shannon Lee with this week's Man on the Street, and I'm here at the UMC wondering if great announcers make great calls, or if great calls make great announcers.
You believe in miracles? Yes!
Do you believe in miracles? Yes!
Do you believe in miracles? Yes!
Do you believe in miracles? Yes!
Send it in, Jerome!
Send it in, Jerome.
Let's send it in, Jerome.
Send it in, Jerome.
Send it in, Jerome.
You may hear him. Down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier!
Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
The Giants win the pennant. Giants win the pennant.
The Giants won the pennant. The Giants won the pennant.
The Giants just won the pennant. The Giants just won the pennant.
The Giants won the pennant! I can't believe it! The Giants won the pennant!
The Giants won the pennant! The Giants won the pennant!
The next time a great moment in sports happens, I hope you'll be there to make the call. I'm Shannon Lee, CU Sports Mag.
Thank you, Shannon. Each year, runners from around Boulder brave the cold to participate in the Frozen Foot 5K, a race around CU's campus. The race is a qualifier for May's Boulder and is also a fundraiser for the club triathlon team who are trying to get to nationals in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. SportsMag's Andy McDonald has more.
Builds. As the CU triathlon team prepares and rallies support for nationals.
It was pretty exciting to see put on a race and be like, oh my gosh, people actually came to it. Pretty exciting actually.
The 5 kilometer or 3.1 mile race meanders through the campus, seeing some familiar faces along the way. Runners weave from Farron Field to Atlas to Northern Library and finally through the tape at the finish line. Not only do the proceeds go to the team, but the 5K is also good training for the athletes.
Yeah, we had a bunch of members from the team run the course, and it's a good thing for them to see what their running pace is for the races up in the future.
Whether they're burning rubber, pounding the pavement, or making waves, there's one thing that's for sure, the CU triathlon team can't feel their toes. From the Frozen Foot 5K, I'm Andy McDonald.
The women's golf team relied on top 10 finishes from Emily Talley and Jess Walls to take fourth at the Stanford Invitational this week. Home field advantage played a big role in the tournament results as Cal, Stanford, and UC Davis took the top 3 spots. Walls and Talley finished tied for 8th, both posting 7 over par 149s. Freshman sisters Jenny and Kristen Coleman both posted top 20 finishes, tying for 19th. The women's golf team heads back to California for the Julie Inkster Spartan Invitational next weekend.
Well, the Buffs take on number 5 Texas on Saturday.
Hopefully, that can help them if they get that win. They can add to their resume, and hopefully they can get into the dance.
For Matt Hanlon, I'm David LaRose. Thanks for watching CU Sports Mag.